तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिडीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भुरिदा जनाः। Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses with his intimate devotees at Dakshineshwar temple premises on 22nd of February 1885, the Sunday following the birthday of Sri Ramakrishna as per the almanac, which is Falgun Shukla Dvitiya. The Sunday following that date is the day where we are discussing. Now, it is interesting to note, which have been pointed out, that Sri Ramakrishna was extremely concerned for the householder devotees. He is as if looks like this time he has come mainly for the householder devotees. They are the primary attention. Whereas the all renouncing young aspirants were of secondary consideration. He was training the younger spiritually oriented devotees as if to serve in their later life and take care of the spiritual responsibilities of his householder disciples. This incident shows the typical confirmation of this conjecture. Nowhere the birthday is celebrated twice, but he used to do it because on the calendar, the Tithi Puja, the Almanac Tithi Puja, it may fall on a weekday. Now, for young aspirants, it doesn't matter, but it matters for the householder devotees because they are working people. They are working in different installations where the weekdays they will have to take a leave, which may not be permissible. Sunday being the general holiday, he postponed his birthday for the following Sunday so that the devotees from all over can come and participate in the event. This is how this particular event was organized on Sunday following his almanac birthday, and which the celebration on Sunday was 22nd February 1885. And here we find amidst the householder devotees, he is enjoying the day in a spiritual fervor with his young spiritual aspirants. Now, I have already discussed quite a bit of the presentation in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which appears in the second volume of the original Bengali presentation, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita 212 to and under second volume and 106th chapter of the Hindi translation, Sri Ramakrishna Vachanamrit, and under chapter 36 of the chronologically presented English rendering, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Now let us recapitulate the salient points discussed in our last Sunday class. At the behest of Sri Ramakrishna, Narendranath is presenting devotional songs. So here also Sri Ramakrishna gives a link for us to follow and to be connected with the divine. God is present everywhere, both outside and inside. But we are not able to see Him, neither feel His existence, apparently. It is a theoretical aspect for us that God is present. But unless we see God or feel His presence, this remains away from our reach. Sri Ramakrishna wants that every one of the devotees have a direct experience for God. And he is giving the hints, the link, the way to be easily connected with God. And that is, one of the ways is devotional song. Bhakti Geet. The Narada, who is the champion of devotees of God, he asked a question on behalf of us, as if to Narayana, that you are present throughout your creation, but if I want to search you, where can I find you most? Sure shot, you'll be there. As Sri Ramakrishna used to say, that the owner of a house can be present anywhere in the house. He is the owner of the entire mansion. But usually, he will be available in his parlor, in his own parlor, Baitak Khana, his own living room. Each person has a special corner where he retires most of the time of the day. So Narada asked, what is that place where you rest maximum amount of time? So whatever Bhagavan replies, that is significant. He says, Naham trishtami vaikunthe yoginam hridayena cha mad bhakta jatra gayante tatra tishtami narada. Though it is told that I am in Vaikunt, my abode, that is my permanent residence, but I usually do not stay here. Many of us do not stay in our permanent residence. There is home address. So, do not think that I am in Vaikunt all the time. And then his favorite place is the heart of the devotees. He says, I am not present there also most of the time. Yoginam hridaya nacha, not even there. Then where I am available? Mad bhakta jatra gayante, wherever my devotees are singing in praise of me. Tatra Tishtami Narada. There for short I am there. So these devotional songs are very favorite items of God. Sri Ramakrishna is telling us the weakness of God. कहाँ भगवान का दुर्बलता है. मद भक्ता जत्र गायन्ते. Wherever my devotees sing my praises, I cannot withhold. I have to be present there. So Sri Ramakrishna invariably, wherever he goes, he kindles the spiritual fire by way of devotional songs. But while presenting the devotional songs, you have to take care of three things. So all hiddenly presented in this gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we have to unearth. The three important things with which the devotional songs should be sung in order to get the presence of God are, number one, there should be intense devotion while singing these songs. These are all not music. They are devotional links to be in touch with God. So it must be sung with sincere and utmost devotion from the core of the heart, not as a ritual. Sometimes we sing songs as a part of ritual. एकादशी का दिन राम नाम संकीर्तन करना पड़ेगा, कर लिया एज ए मैकेनिकल आइटम, उससे कम फायदा नहीं होगा. It has to be sung with deep devotion, sincerity, number one. Secondly, the wording, the script, the language of the song must be elevating. The script takes a long way. So the traditional devotional songs, why are they so appealing to us? Because they are composed by realized souls. When a person realizes God and he writes about God from that vision, from that perception, then that conveys the message and inspiration to encourage us also to reach that state. So these songs which Sri Ramakrishna used to sing or encourage the devotees to sing are mostly the songs which are sung with deep devotion and great lyric. And then also it should be sung with tune and proper rhythm. It can be sung by anybody. They can join. But the principal singer should be a person of repute. He should be following the norms of the tune. He should be preferably a musician. That's why here we find among the persons gathering, those who came, is a birthday celebration. Many people came. He is not asking anybody or everybody to sing the songs. He is asking Narendranath. He was present there. But Narendranath had a voice which was unparalleled. Narendranath was not only the chosen disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, but he was a gifted singer also. The recorder of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, M. Mahendranath Gupta, said, when he heard first of Narendranath to sing, he came before. Later on, Narendranath came. When he heard his voice and song, he wrote, I have never heard such a sweet voice in my life. other than Sri Ramakrishna. Of course, he placed Sri Ramakrishna on the top. Sri Ramakrishna's voice was sweetest because he is God incarnate. So naturally, he was endowed with that divine power. But Narendranath was next to him. And so, whenever Sri Ramakrishna would meet Narendranath, he would encourage him to sing. And he would say, when Narendra sings, then the spiritual power within me, which is dormant, gets awakened. আমার ভেতরে যে শক্তি আছে এটা ফোঁস করে ওঠে, as if a snake is lying coiled up within his being, in the Kundalini Shakti. But as soon as Narendra sings, it gets roused and like a snake, it raises its hood. So here also, Sri Ramakrishna requested that we discussed in Narendranath to sing few songs. Now accordingly, Narendranath was presenting a series of songs. Now, we know that Narendranath was taking a long time in setting his instrument, and other people were getting impatient. But Sri Ramakrishna gave him this opportunity because, as I said, the songs must be properly tuned. And Narendranath was not an ordinary singer. At the tender age, he was in teens now, student of college. He wrote a book on music, Sangeet Kalpadrum. It's still printed. I saw the book in Bengali. On music. On music, he wrote a book in the tender age and it's published. And he had a great opportunity because his father, Vishwanath Dutt, was an attorney of Calcutta High Court. He was a wealthy person, and he could manage his business quite efficiently so that he could have a lot of spare time. The spare time he used to study different philosophies. He studied different languages. He knew Urdu also. In those days, he mastered Urdu, Farsi. He wrote Hafiz. He read different philosophers, Western philosophers, and he used to call musicians and hear the music. In this environment, Narendranath, from his very tender age, he had the opportunity to hear and learn from expert musicians. He took talim also from his Shastriya Sangeet, as you know, and also studied different philosophies at such tender age. So he was singing songs. Now, and he was also a member of the Brahmo Samaj. You know that Brahmo Samaj originally started by Raja Ram Mohan Roy and then organized by Keshav Chandra Sen was the religion of the day in that period. And so young people like Narendranath became members. And Brahmo Samaj, with the influence of Sri Ramakrishna, started devotional songs in their program. Primarily, Brahmo Samaj is pro-Christian. They do not believe in any God with any form. They believe in the Nirakar Brahma, the God without form but with qualities, like Christian mentality. And now, so they wanted to make a midway between Christianity and Hinduism. Because many people were being converted in Christianity, being disgusted with the various rituals and these forms and guidance of the Hindu scriptures without understanding. So he took away some of the Raja Ram Mohan Roy the essential teachings of Vedas and presented in a way that it is in between. They didn't believe in worshipping any idol, Murti Puja. God is present in a formless way. But then they introduce these songs, devotional songs. Then by devotion you can reach the divine. So these songs are full of devotion and it is very elevating. So here is a list of 3 songs Narendra presented. First song, which we started discussion in our last Sunday class, is Antare Jagicho Goma Antare Jamini. Kole Kole Acho More Divasho Jamini. Now, this song was composed by Lokkanath Sanyal. He is a Brahmo devotee, but he used to come to Sri Ramakrishna. He used to regard Sri Ramakrishna as a great spiritual teacher, and also used to come but he was a professional singer also. People used to hire him for presentation of singing. This. So, when, for example, now is being discussed in Satprasang, Sri Ramakrishna went to Balaram Bhavan during the Ratha Jatra in this year, after a few months. In July, Ratha Jatra was there. This is an incident of February. There Balaram invited Lokkanath Sanyal to present some songs on behalf of that occasion. Now this song was composed by Lokkanath Sanyal. It's a famous song. And when Narendra sings this song, so now you see all the conditions are fulfilled. The singer is Narendranath. Wonderful voice, full command of the music, and the words of the song are elevating, and the environment is enchanting. The Sri Ramakrishna and his devotees with folded hands and devotion and wearing. So when such an environment is created, then automatically the God within gets awakened. This is the effect of environment. Today is the, incidentally, World Environment Day, International Environment Day. This Vishwa Paryavaran Divas, environment. Now, what is the role of the environment for us? We are individual. Sometimes we do not give so much importance about the environment. Wherever we are, in our office or in home or in any other place, we may be harboring great thoughts, but we are oblivious, careless. There may be a lot of dirt and dust around us. We do not care. The things are set in a disorganized fashion, helter-skelter. We do not care about the environment, but environment makes a great effect on our mind. As we see here, that in this occasion, when the song is sung and the parivesh, the people around are elevated, so that environment elevates like a radiation whoever is present here. This is the effect of environment. If you have a holistic environment, you will become holistic. If an environment which rouses your sensual pleasures, you will become sensual. This is the difference that you cannot deny. When you go to a temple, then good feelings are aroused. When you go to a tavern, a nightclub, different feelings are aroused. So environment is most important in our life. So here we find that Narendranath is a singer, and with his deep voice and devotion he is presenting, and this script of the song is very elevating. So when we study the Kathamrita, the script of the song should be also taken into consideration. Usually it is ignored. I acknowledge when I used to first read this Kathamrita, as most people do, I used to skip these songs. There are many songs because these are irrelevant for me. Here also you will find in the translation, the translator has omitted the script. Most of the songs which are presented in the original Bengali are not mentioned. Just one line is mentioned. Some of the songs are translated in Hindi, some are in English, but not systematically. Even the translators have thought it is irrelevant. What to talk about readers? But then when I read deeply, we found that Master Mahashaya has taken the pain in writing the details of the script, not for nothing. At least the script is in front of us in print. We cannot reproduce. We do not have a video or audio set for the song of Narendranath, but definitely we have the script, the same script. The script itself is elevating. At least we can go through the script and try to understand the deep meaning hidden in it. Again, there are two difficulties. One is most of the songs are in Bengali, so it is not translated either in Hindi and English. The people would not get it. Secondly, some songs are in old Bengali, that is obsolete now. And thirdly, there are many things are presented in an allegorical way, in a hidden way. You find deep meaning in it, double meaning. There will be one meaning apparently, but the meaning is hidden. So you have to study these songs in depth. That is necessary. Then only you will be able to understand the deep spiritual significance of that event. That's why I am taking so much pain in this translating that word by word details of these songs, because this has deep spiritual significance. Now the first song what he sang, Antare Jagicho Goma, Antaro Jamini, Kule Kore Acho Goma, Divosho Jamini. उमा अंतर्यामिनी, तुम मेरे हृदय में जाग रही हो, रात दिन मुझे गोदी में लिए बैठी हो. Now that's all in the translation, nothing more. The rest of the song is deleted. And so also in the English translation, the translator says, "O mother, thou my inner guide, ever awake within my heart, day and night thou holdest me in thy lap. Why dost thou show such tenderness to this unworldly child of thine?" This covers a later half of the line in the following verse. That's all. Now the word is, this is the praise of the divine, and the divine is portrayed as the mother. This concept has been infused into the Brahmos by Sri Ramakrishna. He made a bridge. He said that you believe in Brahman, Nirakar Brahman, but then they wouldn't believe in Kali or form. They won't go to the Kali temple and bow down. They don't believe. But Sri Ramakrishna made a compromise. He said that him who is being called by you as Brahman is the same as the mother. She is her Shakti. He told very intelligently and scientifically that Brahman cannot function without its power. So the power is dynamic and Brahman is static. Both must go hand in hand. There must be two poles in an electricity, negative and positive. There cannot be a single pole. It's how scientifically presented. So the Brahman and Kali is his power and is portrayed as a female exhibit. There is no sex in divine. But for our understanding, we say that he is the Nirakar Brahman and his Shakti power Kali. So you call him Brahman, I call him Kali. So why don't you take this principle? So Keshav Chandra Sen agreed. All right. He says that if you consider him as his Shakti, then we can approach him. Brahman is Nirakar, then there is nothing to do. You cannot approach. But when you consider the same as Kali, maybe without form, but there you can approach with your devotion. This is how they take. So here he says, this is a Brahma song, that, "O my mother, you are being awakened in my heart." And who are you? You are Antaryamini. There is a pun in this word. One is Jamini, means night. And he says, "Kole kore acho more divasho Jamini." Day and night, you are protecting me as if you have held me in your lap, like as a child. And you are being awakened within my heart. So this is the beginning of the song. Now God is present everywhere. He is already manifest. But we don't see him. And God is present within us also. This please try to understand. God is present without, God is present within. Now unless we awaken the God within, we will not be able to see God outside. The outside is now, we are not seeing God. We see an inert world. We see a bhautik jagat, a physical world, mechanical world. We don't see the God manifested in the whole creation. But that vision must be aroused. When the God within arises, awakened, then we develop a different vision. The same world which was being viewed as an inert substance is seen as a manifestation of consciousness. Same world. That happens when our inner consciousness is aroused. So this person is saying, the sadhaka, that now my inner consciousness is being aroused. Mother, you are getting awakened. And you are, Antarjamini means another meaning, controller of my inner being, inner conscious. God is the controller. He is present within. He is controlling everything. He is the controller and I am just being controlled as a machine. And nevertheless, He is protecting us all the time. We should try to understand that we are being protected and guided, driven by God Himself, not part-time, whole time. Every movement of ours is being monitored by God. Every movement. So, we previously used to feel that how is it possible that God is monitoring? But now with the development of science, we can make an approximation. When you are riding in a vehicle, the Google search goes on directing the driver, go straight, go right, goes as if it is being monitored from a distance, from internet. The driver is driving in Lucknow and is being monitored, go right, go straight to 100 kilometers, 100 meters. Each and every step is being monitored by the GPS. Similarly, we are being monitored every moment by God. So this is presented in these songs, the devotional songs. But then he says, the কখনো আদর করি কখনো সবলে ধরি পিয়াও অমৃত শোনাও মধুর কাহিনী. Now, this important point is this: though God is monitoring, taking care of me every moment, do not think that there will be always good time. We may think भगवान हमारा अत्यंत अपना है, वो हमें चलान करते तो हमें कष्ट क्यों मिलेगा? We expect, so we believe in God when there is a good time, and when there is a bad time we think that God has left us. It is not so. It is mentioned here कि sometimes you caress, कखनो आदर करी, आप प्यार से कभी बुलाते हैं, कखनो सबले धरी, as a mother does both treatment. Sometimes she lovingly caresses the child, and the child is out of order, then the master admonishes also. The mother sometimes, if necessary, beats also to correct the child. But that is the punishment of affection. God sometimes give us some penal action to correct us for our benefit. For our benefit it was necessary. So whenever any consequence comes on our life, we must think that it is the for our benefit God is providing, so that we can become closer to God. That is the only goal of God, to bring the child closer to Him. So কখনো আদর করি কখনো সবলে ধরি পিয়াও অমৃত শোনাও মধুর কাহিনী. You do that so that we may be served the nectar, पियाओ अमृत, so that हम अमृत ले सकें. Sri Ramakrishna says, one example, that mother has left the child for play. Now, the child is engaged in the game, forgetting. Now the food time has come. The child has to be fed. ये तो बहुत होता है, तो खेल में मस्त हो गया, खाना नहीं चाहते हैं. तो पहले माँ क्या करते हैं, उसको डांटते हैं, और आखिर में क्या करते हैं, उनका खिलौना वो तोड़ देते हैं. तब वो रोते हुए आते हैं, बट तब खिला देते हैं. So that food was necessary for his sustenance. If the person is not able to give up his toy, the toy is broken for his benefit. So sometimes the toys which are handling, we think that they are of great value. There is no value for us as far as the God is concerned. Sometimes the toy is taken away or broken. Then at the time we go on weeping or wailing, but ultimately it becomes beneficial for us. Here it is said, all you do that in order to serve nectar to us, to make us drink amrit, so that we become immortal. But when the person reviews, he says, নিরবধি অবিচারে কত ভালোবাসো মোরে উদ্ধারিছ बारे बारे पतित धारिणी. बड़ा सुंदर भाषा है. The God's attention to us is niravachinna, continuous, not intermittent, not part-time. Any love in this world is not permanent and is not continuous. दो चीज है, बराबर नहीं रहेगा, निरंतर नहीं है. There is intermittence, but the love of God is continuous forever. निरवधि अविचारे, and your love is not conditional. The other love is conditional. there is this bargain, give and take. If I love you, what would I get back? What is my return? Return oriented love. ये व्यापार है, प्रेम नहीं है. Wherever there is give and take, व्यापार, there is no prem. So here for God, there is no vyapar, avichar, ahetuk. God loves us for love alone. We may not be deserving. We sometimes think that how can God love me? I do not have that qualification. Mother does not require any qualification for a child to have. Mother's love flows continuously, spontaneously to the child. It is not dependent, conditional on any factor. নিরবধি অবিচারে অহেতুক, কত ভালোবাসো মরে, ইউ লাভ মি টু দি সুপ্রিম, অ্যান্ড উদ্ধারিছ বারে বারে পতিত ধারণী. Many times I am falling down, but you are repeatedly redeeming me, because your name is Patito Dharini. You are redeemer of the fallen. जो गिर गया, जो बेसहारा है, उनको उठाना ही आपको काम है. There is your nature. Now it was asked to Sima Sharda Devi that why do you take so much of pain for those who are not worthy? There are not many unworthy children, unworthy sons who is to come to Sima Sharda Devi. Then she was asked, why do you take so much trouble in these bogus people? Sima Sharda Devi replied, अगर मेरी संतान धूल में सन जाए तो मुझे ही उसको उठा के साफ सुथरा करके गोदी में लेना पड़ेगा. सीधा बात है. इफ माई चिल्ड्रन गेट्स सोक्ड इन डार्ट एंड डस्ट, इट इज माई ड्यूटी टू लिफ्ट देम अप, क्लीन देम एंड टेक इन माई लैप. देयर इज अवर रिलेशन. So it is quite understood that the children will make mistakes, but mother never counts the mistakes, forgives them by the cord of love. So here it is said that Uddharicho bare bare, I am making repeated mistakes, not once. Though I am making repeated mistakes, you are forgiving every mistake and taking care of me, and that's why you are called the Redeemer. Then he says, বুঝেছি এবার সার, মা আমার আমি মার, চলিব সুপথে সদা, শুনি তব বাণী. Now I have understood, the sadhak says, now I have understood the essence. समझ लिया. What I have understood, the great truth, you are mine, I am yours. Ma amar ami mar. This is the highest realization a spiritual aspirant can have. Ma amar ami mar. I am mother's and mother is mine. Sri Ramakrishna used to say to his disciples, close disciples, you need not do any great penance. साधन भजन की इतना जरूरत नहीं. सिर्फ दो चीज जान लेना, तुम कौन हो और मैं कौन हूं, बस. और कुछ जानने की जरूरत नहीं. Who are you and who am I? Swami, he says, now I have understood this person, that who are you? You are my mother. Who am I? I am your son. That's all. So it is an eternal relation. I am eternally connected with the divine. Please try to think seriously. Though we are hearing and we are intellectually we are accepting, but do you believe in it? None of us believe. There is a tragedy of life. It is 100% statement of, correct statement of fact. ये सत्य है, 100% सत्य है कि मैं ईश्वर का हूँ, ईश्वर मेरे है. There cannot be any more blatant truth than this. And intellectually, if you think, it cannot be otherwise. Intellectually it can be produced. But in the reality, we cannot accept it. ये बड़ा मजबूरी है. We cannot believe it. We think नहीं ऐसे नहीं हो सकता है. क्यों नहीं हो सकता? वो हमारा मतलब नहीं है. Here, this person says, he is a Ponchoa Vyakti. The person who has written this song, he has realized, Thakur has said, that unless you had realization, you could not write such songs. In some other occasion he said, he used to love this person, Lokanath. He says, unless you had some anubhuti, you could not write. So like many songs of Rabindranath Thakur you find, unless he has anubhuti, he cannot write. It comes from the inner realization. So here he says that now I have understood in reality that Ma Amar Ami Mar. You are my mother and I am your son, and we are eternally connected, which relation cannot be broken. It is not a temporary connection. We have temporary relation for all other persons in the world, but not with God. Srimad Shravji says, Sarada Devi says, मैं सत्य जननी हूँ, जन्म जन्मांतर की माँ हूँ, eternal mother. We have mother in each life of our existence, but a singular mother for all the lives together. Similarly, we are always connected with God and God alone. So that relation has to be understood and believed and practiced in life. Now, since I have understood that you are mine and I am yours, it takes a dissolve. Cholibo shupate sada shuni tavo bani. Now I have dissolved. और इधर उधर नहीं जाएंगे. I will hear your instruction and I will follow the glorious path. I will not be astray, going here and there anymore. Because I have heard your command, your message I have understood and I will follow it. And finally he says, Kori matri stanopan Havavid Balavan Anande Gahivo Joy Brahma Sanatani. Having been fed with mother's milk, I will become very strong with fortitude and with joy. I will participate in your activities and make my life blessed. Now, Narendranath proceeds with other songs in this congregation, the details of which will be discussed in our next Sunday class. Niranjanam nityam ananta rupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai ishavataram parameshamidhyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Now we close with the chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om Ramakrishna Hari Om. Now there are announcements. There will be those who are interested for Mantra Diksha. They are requested to proceed to the old shrine, where I will present a short talk on Mantra Diksha क्यों और कैसे. जो ये इसके बारे में जानकारी नहीं है वो कृपया पुराना मंदिर में चले जाइए. और आज जिसे कहा गया है विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस, वर्ल्ड एनवायरनमेंट डे, so on the occasion we will plant a sapling on the eastern side of the temple. I'll just do that inauguration of the sapling and then I will proceed to the old shrine. If you want, you can also join the Vishwa Paryavaran Divas.